Some things just don't ever change. Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to more Fortnite news. As of last night, the Fortnite World Cup rulebook has been released, and we should have expected this. It is somewhat of a joke to, I think, a lot of people out there. Certainly some rules out there have been designated that I do not agree with, but I hope you guys all enjoy. Let's break it down. I'm going to give you guys all the things I do agree with, all the things I do like and don't like, and I think right now the three biggest things bothering me, I'll break those down first, along with some other things out there. So first of all, the designated practice area for contestants. Along with that, we expected this, the customized things not being allowed to be brought to the event. They have a fixed set of mice, keyboards, monitors, so on and so forth that players can use as we expected. But with that, an allotted time and place to actually warm up for the biggest matches of the event. I just hope when it comes down to that, I was listening to actually Balla's stream about this where he broke it down. I really do hope it's not an allotted time of 1 hour, because we certainly know some players take much longer to warm up than other players out there. And with this being a $30 million+ event with all the surrounding weeks also on top of all of that, I really hope it's not just an allotted time of 1 hour before matches. I hope they give a lot of players out there pretty much free roam around that practice area to warm up for some of the biggest matches of their life. I think even more so concerning though is the fact that when those matches do come time to be played for both solos and duos, it comes down to six matches of the heaviest RNG battle royale ever in existence to determine who's going to be coming away as a millionaire and who's coming away with $50,000. Yes, still a large amount of money, but along with all of that included, you bring it down to 6 matches when your qualifiers were 10. I'm not surprised, but I'm also like, why? At least make it 8. I think a lot of us can agree 8 to 10. If you made the qualifiers 10, why restrict it down to 6? And I think in terms of time restraints for the biggest event in esports history, I don't think 8 to 10 matches would have been that hard. Yes, we had a lot of cutoff points with a lot of players out there for qualifiers, but now we are down to less than 100 players for the solos and duos. You would think they could fit to 8 to 10 matches within whatever time constraint they need to fit. So that does bother me a bit. And along with that, you throw in probably a huge patch as well as potentially of what we assume to be a brand new season just a few days or even just a day before the finals do begin as well. On top of that, with all of this being said, you bring it down to 6 matches, you throw in a brand new season probably with that, brand new weapons, a brand new meta on top of all of the things going on currently, and it's already a heavy RNG game. It's amazing to see. With all of this being said, I think it's fair to say anything can happen and anyone can win. And speaking of anyone can win, I just love reading the cheating rules because you guys had to know I was going to bring this up, right? I love reading the cheating rules they've actually instilled in this rule book as they had to, right? But it's just always funny to me the fact that the cheating rules do really read. The using of any kind of cheating device, program, or similar cheating method to gain a competitive advantage. I wonder what that could be. Oh, and there's an entire section on collusion. Do you guys know what collusion is? Let me show you. It's actually teaming and planned movements. Who's done that? 2 of your competitors who could be millionaires after this weekend. Yeah, that's I guess that's my third biggest issue. That just still pisses me off. Epic Games, after that weekend late in July, could actually make 2 cheaters walk away millionaires. And either way, they're actually paying 2 cheaters at the very minimum $50,000 a piece. And you better believe I'll be back here making another video about that because I love yelling sometimes. And then very lastly, I want to play a Balla clip for all of you guys about the restrictions of dress code. This is a very debatable topic. I'm super curious how you guys feel about this because I do think there's a lot of backlash about this, but I understand it to a certain degree. Now, Epic Games will provide apparel to all the players. They are not obligated. They do not have to wear the apparel provided for them, but if they want to actually wear their own apparel, it's very restrictive on the logos, on the brands, on the sponsors they can actually wear on their said apparel all over their body, and especially for signed players out there, 1 logo is allowed per piece of clothing.
Yo, that is actually not good. That is not good for team jerseys. That's not good at all for orgs, players on orgs. They can have a team logo. There's literally, this is very restrictive. Oh my goodness. This is very restrictive. You can have 1 logo on your sleeve, 1 logo on your the front of your shirt or your jacket, and 1 logo on the back. That means just a team logo. There's no sponsors. There are no sponsors allowed from teams. That is crazy.
But with all that being said, it does make a bit of sense, right? If Epic Games has their own sponsors, their own exclusivity deals for the event, maybe that's what they have planned. In order to promote the event, they actually cannot have Team Liquid showing their sponsors or FaZe Clan showing their said sponsors all over their jerseys. Whoever the organization might be, they can only show their logos. Yes, it might suck for an organization who signed players. They signed young players just to go to the event. It does suck, but when you look from an outside stance, there are other games out there. CSGO has sometimes actually covered betting sponsors. CWL for Call of Duty, they do the same exact thing. They are heavily restricted because it is their franchise league, so teams are restricted heavily on what sponsors they can actually wear on their clothing. Along with that, you look from an outside traditional sports stance, the NBA, the NFL, they do the same exact thing. When you play in someone else's game or someone else's, especially in this sense, a league, although World Cup is a bit different from a franchise league, you have to abide by their rules, and Epic Games is being very strict about it, likely for a certain reason. So there's going to be a lot of thoughts about that. I do think it's a bit unfair, but I understand where they're coming from. When you dish out $30 to $60 million in total around the event, you have to recoup some of those funds, and you have to restrict your players and your player base in some ways. But just because I side with Epic on that one point does not mean the rulebook is ridiculous. You still allow cheaters. You're taking it down to 6 matches when it should be, and I think a lot of people agree, at least 8, amongst other things as well. The whole practice arena, that could be fixed. I'm sure that will be fine amongst most players. There are certainly issues with this, as we should have expected, but there shouldn't be as much backlash as I think we have given Epic so far. I stand with them on a few points, but there are still certainly many issues around the entire event. We will see how it works out, though. We are still around a month out from the World Cup finals. I'm still very excited for the event, but a lot of things can change in between now and then. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy breaking down esports news here on the channel all day long. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to go now. Bye.